Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech, and we're going to unbox and take a first look at the Nokia Lumia Icon. This is the Lumia flagship phone on Verizon. Comes in at about $149 and up on a 2-year contract. Let's open it up and take a look at it. Now, the specs of this smartphone are pretty off the charts. It beats out most Android phones as well. So you can see here is the phone itself. And it's typical Nokia as far as the materials. This feels like a metal band here, and we'll look at this in just a moment. Inside, we have the typical Verizon literature, getting to know your phone, product safety and warranty information. We also have the Nokia charger, USB on the side here, just a typical plug from Nokia. And then we have a micro USB cable. This is probably the typical Nokia cable, and you can see here it's the black USB to micro USB, and that's everything in the box. Let's get on to the actual thing we care about most here, and that's the phone itself. So you can see it's got a little screen protector thing on it here. We'll take this off, and the specs are crazy, but let's take a look at the hardware itself. It's pretty good size-wise, and it feels a little cold as this just got delivered. And this is a metal ring or aluminum ring. You can see on the side here we have our volume button, power, sleep, wake. We also have a camera button, and all of these buttons feel much better just from pushing these than the original Nokia phones I've used before. They feel much more solid. On the top, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. We have a SIM card tray here, and it looks like you have to get underneath this to pull that out, but we don't need to do that. On the side here, nothing here. On the bottom, micro USB, and it's interesting to note that you've got two little spacers here. It's almost like they're using this as the antenna, and they may be using this band like Apple did some time ago. So let's take this off the phone here. And on the back, you can see it looks really nice. You've got a flash, a dual LED flash, 20 megapixel camera, 4 microphones to help pick up audio, and then we have a speaker here. So you can see that it looks like there's a microphone here, looks like there's one here, and one down here, actually through the glass, and maybe there's another one. Let's see if we can find another one on the sides. It could be located maybe in here, I'm not sure. Well, let's talk about the phone itself. The display is 5 inches, so it's a good size. Let me show you an iPhone 5S next to it, just to kind of give you an idea of size. So 5S and Lumia Icon, so gives you a good idea of size. And it's a 5-inch display, 1080 by 1920 pixels, so it's a 1080p display, 441 pixels per inch, and it's an OLED multi-touch display. And on the back, like I said before, we have a 20 megapixel camera. It actually has an f2.4 aperture, and it's got a 0.5 camera sensor size, and is supposed to record really nice 1080p video. And I'll be posting some of those sample videos on YouTube. Be sure to check those out if you're interested. Now, the forward-facing camera for video chat is 1.2 megapixels, and then inside is where it gets really interesting. We have 2 gigabytes of RAM. We also have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 quad-core 2.2 gigahertz processor with an Adreno 330 GPU and 32 gigabytes of memory for storage. It has a non-removable battery, but it's a good-sized battery at 2420 milliamp hours or 2420 milliamp hours, good for about 16 and a half hours of talk time and 18 days of standby. We also have wireless charging built in, so if you have a QI or Qi compatible charger, you can use that with this, and you'll be able to wirelessly charge it. Now, it does have a lot of different antennas in it. It has CDMA, GSM, UMTS, and LTE antennas, so it should work worldwide for the most part, it looks like, and it overall just feels really nice. But let's boot it up and take a first look at it. So it's turning on. Now, it feels much more solid than I thought it would in the pictures. It feels like it's really, really well built. Typical of Nokia, but more so than usual. It's got a really nice feel to it. It actually feels pretty hefty. It's about 6 ounces, so it's pretty heavy for a smartphone. You can see it's booted up, and we have plenty of room on the display. And I didn't set this one up. It actually was pre-set up. Thanks to Verizon for sending it along for review. But you can see it looks pretty nice, and it has your typical apps. We can move around and resize these tiles, shrink and expand them, and it's got a lot of room on this display. Now we have Nokia Pro Cam. That's not really what I was looking for. The camera here, and it's really what we're interested in with this phone. If you're interested in this one, or maybe there are other phones with these crazy sensors in them. So let's put the iPhone behind here, since that's just what we have. Let's take a picture of it. Now it's not really in focus. Let's see what this picture did. Doesn't look so great initially. Let's see if we can push it away a little bit. Just for the lighting we have here, and take a picture. Now that looks pretty nice. If you can see in that picture, it looks good. Even if I zoom in like that, it looks good. So that's really nice, and thanks to that 1080p or 20 megapixel camera rather, and the 1080p video should be pretty nice looking once we have a chance to test that out. So I'll post maybe some comparisons of video between this and an iPhone 5, and let me know if there's any other phones you'd like to see the camera compared to that maybe you're considering, that I could hopefully give you kind of an idea of which one's better or which one is better for you. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.